Hello, welcome to the instructional UiPath Orchestrator videos. In this video, we'll learn on how to start a job from Postman. For this video, there are some prerequisites which have been referred in my previous video. Do refer to that. To start a job from Postman, please make sure that all the setup has been done prior to running this on Postman. You can refer to my previous videos to validate the setups on Orchestrator. Now let's start with the video's content. Open Postman. Open a new tab. On Postman, we need to run 4 different services from UiPath Orchestrator. First service is to authenticate ourselves. Next service is to get the release code for a particular bot. Then is to get the robot details from UiPath Orchestrator which have been added to the Orchestrator. Then we'll actually call the service to start the job. We cannot directly call the start job service because we need all the above details in this particular service to actually run a job. Now, let's go to Postman. This particular service, as I said before, will authenticate ourselves with UiPath. For this particular service, we need to set the authorization as no auth, and in the headers, we need to pass these details. For you, these details will be different. I'll be showing you where to find this detail from. The header name, however, is same. You can type this header name onto your header. I'll show you where to get this header name from. And let me show you where to get the value of this particular tenant name. If you remember, in my previous video, I showed you some prerequisites to run jobs on Postman. Now, let's go to platform.uipath.com and let's click on Manage. Here, let's click on API Access. It might take some time to load in. We need to give this name as a tenant name. You need to give the tenant logical name inside this particular header. So let's do the same on Postman, and do remember that this is a post service call. So let's change the service call to post. Then let's pass the other header, which is content type. Then let's give the value. This value will be same for all of us. Now, as you remember that this is a post call, there will be a body involved. Now, here is the body. I'll tell you where to get this body details from towards the end of this video. Click on body, click on raw, then paste the body here. I'll be giving these in the description as well, and the links to get this body details from. Now, in grant type, this will always be refresh token. Now, in client ID, we need to get the client ID from the orchestrator. This is our client ID copy it. For you, it will be different. Copy the client ID from here and then paste it here. In refresh token, pass the user key. Now let's run this service and check what is the output. You can see the status is 200 OK, and in the service we'll be getting an access token. We will be using this access token as an input to the next services that we will call. Moving on, just to recap, grant type will always be refresh token. Client ID can be picked from client ID here, and in place of refresh token, please use the user key as the input. And once you hit send for this particular service, you can get the access token for running the next services. Now we are authenticated with UiPath. Moving on to the next service, which is getting the bot releases. Now, you can get the endpoint details from your orchestrator itself. Just go to your orchestrator. Once you click on the orchestrator or the service, you'll be getting this particular link. Now copy it and paste it somewhere. Let's paste it here. Please remember to replace this cloud with platform. And this particular link will be used throughout our video now. And you'll be using this particular link as your service URL. And then you can append whatever endpoints you want and get the required outputs. So, to get the releases for bots that have been deployed, like I said, I'll be using this particular URL, and let's append this to the URL. /releases will get us the releases of the robots. This is a get service. Now let's copy it and create a new tab in Postman. Now let's paste it. As I said, it is a get service. This also requires some headers. So the access token, here. This will be same as the authentication service that you used earlier. So now adding the details, and let's hit on send. Now you see the status is 200 OK. So we have successfully hit the service, and then we can see that this is the process that we are getting the release key of. If you remember from my previous videos, this was the process that we had uploaded to my orchestrator. You need to keep this key handy. Then let's go to the next service call, which is nothing but robots. So in this particular URL that I talked earlier about, append odata /robots. This is also a get service. Copy the details and paste it in a new tab of Postman. Then copy the header key and paste the value, which is nothing but bearer space the token from the authentication service that we used. Then pass the tenant name. It's nothing but this is the header name, and pass the tenant name. This will be same as the earlier services as well. You can get it from here or here. Now let's hit on send and see what all robots are there on our orchestrator. We can see that this particular robot is there on our orchestrator, and the machine ID is this. And if you come down, you'll get the robot ID as well. We need this robot ID for our next service. Now let's go to the main part where we are starting a job from Postman. Add a new tab, change the type of service to post. To run a job from Postman, we need this particular detail to be added or appended to the URL that I was talking earlier about. Copy this and paste it on Postman, as then feed the headers, which is authorization, and then bearer, and you can get the token from here, from the authorization service request. Then content type is nothing but json, because this is a post request. We'll have to pass a body. Then pass the tenant name. We'll have to also pass the folder path as a key in our headers. This particular value you will get it from, if you open service, if you open your orchestrator service, this name is same as this particular name, which is default. I'll be using name as default. And let's pass the body details. And this particular body is for bots with arguments. If you remember from my previous videos, that I created a robot and had run a job with parameters. I'll show you where to get these service details as well. I'll leave the link behind, and I'll show you where to get it from exactly. Now let's run that particular robot. Go to body, select raw, and then paste it here. In release key, we will be passing the value that I showed you from releases services. So it is nothing but this key from releases. Change it accordingly. Then strategy is specific always. In robot IDs, pass the robot ID that we got from robots services, which is nothing but this that I showed you earlier as well. Then in input arguments, make sure that this is same as the argument that you have given in your robot, in your bot that you created earlier. This argument is same as this particular name. So it is my name, and this is the value of it. So let me give a value. Let's say it is John Doe. And go to authorization and make sure that it is no auth. all of our headers have been filled and the body is appropriately filled. Now let's hit on send and see. You will get a status saying 201 created, and you can see that the bot has already started. Now let's see if it is running or not. See, it is coming. Hello, John Doe. If I click on OK, it should give good day, John Doe. Now let's change the name and see if it is giving us different outputs or not. I'm giving my name. Hit on send. And we see 200 created. And now you see hello Aditya and good day. So our bot is running perfectly fine and this service is getting called perfectly fine. I hope that you understood the end-to-end process of how to run the jobs from Postman. In order to run it from any other services or any other middlewares, let's say like Delboomi or MuleSoft, or let's say for Oracle it is ICS or Oracle Integration Cloud, you will have to call authentication service first, then you will have to call the start job service, and you'll have to hard code this as a an input to this particular job. Or else if you want to make it dynamic, what you can do is you can read through the releases. There are other services to get exact output for a particular release as well. I'll show you in a bit of time. You can get the particular release key for a particular process, and you can get the robot ID for a particular robot as well, passing parameters in appending parameters to these services, and then you can directly call this service to launch a job. Now let me take you through the link where it has it all. Now if you open postman.uipath.rocks, this will have all the details with respect to any services in Orchestrator. I'll be creating more videos on the details of how to process more things with Orchestrator. Until then, thank you.